Dawn at Mission Beach. The sun peeked over the horizon. Golden light bathed Mission Beach. The boardwalk bustled with activity. Joggers pounded the pavement. Surfers chased the early waves. Families staked out their spots on the sand. The air buzzed with the sound of crashing waves and excited chatter. Jennifer exuded an aura of quiet strength. Her navy blue blouse and beige capri pants were a study in understated elegance. Her auburn hair flowed around her shoulders like a fiery halo, but it was her eyes that held the real story. Emerald green and laser-focused, they spoke of her unwavering determination. Jett, her brother and COO of Johnson Tech, matched her stride for stride. His tall frame was imposing. His presence was commanding. He wore a casual white shirt and khaki shorts. It did little to conceal his strength. His dark hair, shot with silver, was neatly combed. His steely blue eyes mirrored Jennifer's resolve. They were a formidable pair, bound by blood and driven by a shared sense of justice. They were ready to face down any threat.
Ready for this, Jen?
Jennifer drew a deep breath. The salty air filled her lungs. It was a familiar sensation, comforting.
As ready as I'll ever be. This meeting, it could be everything. We could get the edge we need. We could stop Virelli.
Jett nodded, his expression grim. He understood the stakes.
We'll get through this, together. We have to believe that. We have to have faith.
Jennifer met his gaze. Her eyes held a flicker of gratitude. They were in this together, and they would see it through to the end. The Mission Beach boardwalk was the perfect spot, busy yet anonymous. The wide expanse of sand and the endless ocean provided a sense of freedom, a stark contrast to the suffocating threat that hung over them. The air buzzed with the energy of tourists and locals alike, oblivious to the battle about to be waged. Jennifer and Jett walked with purpose. Their destination was a small cafe, nondescript, unremarkable, except for its strategic location, near the water's edge, with a clear view of the surroundings. The salty breeze whipped at their faces, a reminder of the ever-present danger. The stakes were high. Failure was not an option. They spotted their head of security, Tom, instantly. He was a rock, immovable. His burly frame and hard eyes were a reassuring presence, a stark reminder of the very real threat they faced. Tom wore a dark polo shirt and cargo pants. His attire was practical, purposeful. He scanned the crowd. His gaze was unwavering. He missed nothing.
"Morning, Tom," Jennifer greeted, her voice betraying no hint of the turmoil within. "All clear," Tom replied, his voice a gruff murmur. "For now, but we're watching, always watching. Can't afford any mistakes. Not today."
Inside the cafe, the atmosphere was a mixture of anticipation and dread. Sheriff Carter was already seated. A man of the law, he had seen it all, but even he couldn't hide his concern.
"Jennifer, Jett," Carter greeted, rising to shake their hands. His grip was firm, reassuring. "Good of you to come."
Rachel Kim, a community leader, stood beside him. Her presence was unexpected, but welcome. Her short black hair and sharp eyes spoke of intelligence and determination. David Morales, a tech innovator, completed the group. He was an unlikely ally, but his expertise was invaluable in this fight. Jennifer took a seat. The weight of their expectations pressed down on her. This meeting, it had to yield something. They were running out of time.
Thank you all for coming, Jennifer said, her voice betraying a hint of fatigue. We wouldn't be here without you.
"We're in this together," Rachel replied, her voice unwavering. "We have to stop him."
David nodded, his gaze fixed on Jennifer. "We're ready. Tell us what you need."
The air crackled with tension. The weight of their mission hung heavy in the air. The wait was almost over. The cafe door opened. A hush fell over the room. All eyes turned towards the newcomer. It was him, the informant, Mark Townsend. Mark was a ghost from Virelli's past, a former associate turned enemy. He moved with a practiced ease, a telltale sign of a life lived on the edge. He wore a black t-shirt and jeans. His sandy blonde hair was cut short. His blue eyes darted around the room, assessing the situation. Jennifer felt a surge of adrenaline. This was it, their one chance.
Mark, thank you for coming.
Mark nodded, his expression grim. He pulled up a chair. He didn't waste time on pleasantries. He got straight to the point.
Virelli is planning something big. Something that will cripple this city. He's targeting the power grid, the financial systems, everything.
A chill ran down Jennifer's spine. This was worse than they had imagined. Far worse.
He's going to launch the attack on the 4th of July, during the fireworks display, when everyone is distracted.
Jennifer felt a surge of anger. Virelli was a coward, preying on innocent people, using their joy against them.
We have to stop him, but how? We need specifics, we need details. I have access to his network. I can give you the locations of his servers, the names of his people, but you have to move fast. Time is running out.
A glimmer of hope flickered in Jennifer's chest. It was a small spark, but it was enough. They had a fighting chance.
We'll mobilize our forces. We'll be ready.
My team can work on countermeasures. We can strengthen the city's defenses.
A sense of purpose filled the room. They had a plan, a dangerous one, but they had no other choice. They had to stop Virelli, no matter the cost. The cafe buzzed with a nervous energy. The weight of their task pressed down on them. They were facing an invisible enemy, an enemy who could strike at any moment.
We can't afford any mistakes, not now.
Jennifer took a deep breath. She needed to focus. We need to work together, she said, her voice firm. We need to be smart, strategic. They were a team, a group of individuals brought together by circumstance, united by a common goal.
We need to warn people, she said, her voice sharp. We need to make them understand the danger.
But we can't risk a panic, he countered, his voice gruff.
People have a right to know, Rachel insisted, her gaze unwavering. They need to be prepared. They need to know how to protect themselves.
Jennifer considered her words. Rachel was right. They couldn't keep this a secret, not anymore.
David Morales, ever the pragmatist, cleared his throat. We need to focus on the technical aspects, he said, his voice calm. We need to reinforce the city's infrastructure, make it impenetrable.
Can you do that? Jett asked, his voice edged with urgency.
We can try, David replied, his fingers flying across his laptop keyboard. But Virelli is good, very good.
A wave of anxiety washed over Jennifer. They were facing a formidable opponent, but they had to believe. They had to have faith.
Sheriff Carter slammed his fist on the table. The sound echoed through the cafe. We will stop him, he said, his voice booming with authority. We will not let him win.
His words were a beacon of hope, a rallying cry. Jennifer felt a surge of gratitude. They had a plan, a dangerous one, but it was their only chance. The fate of the city rested on their shoulders. It was a familiar sensation. Narrator calming, narrator centering. The salty air filled her lungs. She took a deep breath. Jennifer closed her eyes. The air was thick with salt and the scent of the ocean. Golden light painted the sky in hues of orange and purple. The sun dipped below the horizon. Jennifer and Jett walked towards the water's edge. The weight of their mission settled over them.
It's beautiful, she whispered, her voice barely audible above the crashing waves. Narrator, the cafe emptied.
Jett stood beside her. His presence was a comfort, a reminder that she wasn't alone.
It is, he agreed, his voice low.
Jennifer opened her eyes. She gazed out at the endless expanse of the ocean. The vastness of it made her feel small, insignificant.
We're up against so much.
Her voice was tinged with doubt. Jett placed a hand on her shoulder. His touch was firm, reassuring.
And we have God. We have each other. We have faith on our side.
Jennifer nodded, drawing strength from his words. He was right. They weren't alone. They had a higher power guiding their steps. Jennifer's phone buzzed in her pocket. The sudden noise startled her. She pulled out her phone. Her heart pounded in her chest. The message was from Tom. Short, urgent. Jennifer's blood ran cold. Something was wrong. She could feel it in her gut. S2. New developments. Get back to the office, now. Jennifer and Jett raced back to Johnson Tech, their headquarters, their sanctuary. The city lights blurred past the car windows, a kaleidoscope of color and light. But Jennifer saw none of it. Her mind raced. Fear gnawed at her insides. They burst into the conference room. Tom stood at the head of the table. His face was grim, the weight of their mission etched on his features. The rest of the team was gathered around the table. Their faces were a mixture of anxiety and determination. S2, what's happened?
Virelli's made his move. We have to stop him before it's too late.
The Mission Beach boardwalk was fading into the background. The rhythmic crashing of the waves was a distant memory. Jennifer and Jett were back in their world, a world of sterile offices and cold technology. But the image of the setting sun stayed with Jennifer, a reminder of the beauty that was at stake, the beauty they were fighting to protect. A world where people could enjoy the simple pleasures of life, unaware of the battles being fought in the shadows. Their footsteps echoed in the silence of the deserted parking lot. The air was thick with the smell of exhaust fumes and the lingering scent of the ocean. The silence was deafening, a stark contrast to the urgency that gnawed at their insides.
Virelli's changed his plans. He's moving up the attack. Narrator. Jennifer's phone buzzed. A jolt of adrenaline shot through her. It was Tom. His voice was tight, strained.
Jennifer's heart skipped a beat.
When?
Tonight.
The single word hung in the air, heavy, ominous.
We have to stop him. Jennifer, it's all up to you now.
Jennifer closed her eyes. She took a deep breath. Fear threatened to consume her, but she pushed it down. She had to be strong, for her company, for her city, for her brother. The city lights blurred past the car window, a kaleidoscope of color and light. But Jennifer saw none of it. Her mind raced. Time was running out. They sped back towards the city, towards the heart of the storm. Every second counted. Each red light was an eternity. Every intersection, a potential delay. Jennifer gripped the steering wheel. Her knuckles were white. Her jaw was set. She could feel the weight of responsibility pressing down on her, the weight of millions of lives. Tonight, the fireworks wouldn't be a celebration. They would be a countdown to chaos.